Good afternoon, everyone. So I've had a bit of a disaster this morning on my Facebook Live with questions and answers over your Christmas concerns. So I thought I'd just record something here on Zoom and then I'll upload it to my website so you can get those details. I'll pop those in the chat so that you can see those. Right, so lots of people have lots of concerns as we get to the run up to Christmas. The kind of the atmosphere is changing and the pressure has been ramping up for a couple of weeks now, to be fair, largely due to, Christmas stuff coming in the shops and everything. So some questions that people ask me is what to buy. They're concerned about what to buy people, particularly, this cost of living crisis. They don't want to go into debt themselves, but they also don't want to feel that other people have got to get presents of equal value, but they don't want to buy a lesser value. That it's very, very complicated. Yeah. So that's what people worry about. And also, what about teenagers, older relatives? It can be so difficult. My mum, for instance, would you buy the one that's got everything? Well, I know that my mum values time with us together as a family. So a family meal out somewhere, a day out when the weather gets a bit better, she'll be happy with that because she's got an absolute house full of stuff. She doesn't need any more stuff. So those kind of things, staying in budget, setting a budget, all of those worries can be quite simply dealt with. I'm not saying it's easy because it involves having a bit of a conversation with people, and that is not necessarily an easy thing. But it's about this time of year and have those conversations with people to say, this year we thought we might just do little bits for gifts, or we'll just buy for the children, or we're not going to do that this year. So just letting you know. Yeah, don't have to explain. Obviously, maybe if it's your bestie, you might go into a bit more detail. But if it's work colleagues, things like that, just opt out. You're quite within your rights to opt out. Conversations with teenagers. Now, if they just want cash or a voucher, let them have cash or a voucher. We all know there are so many bargains to be had in January. How many times have you bought something and then seen it at half price in the January sale? Really annoying, isn't it? So, if the older kids want to do their own shopping, then let them. That's what they've asked for. You can always wrap up a few bits of chocolate, some socks, some smellies, or whatever, for them to have something to unwrap on Christmas Day. Or a friend of mine just recently said that she takes her quite grown up grandchildren, so, sort of like early teens upwards, for a day out. And in their day out, she takes each one of them individually. They go and do a bit of shopping. So she knows that it's something they want, that it will fit, it's the right thing. And then she will wrap that up. And yes, okay, the magic's gone a little bit for that. But for older kids, that's probably tons more practical. And they get a time out with you, which is really nice. Having those conversations with friends and family probably need to be scheduled in. Pick your time, practice what you're going to say. If you no longer want to buy expensive presents for your partner, for instance, raise the subject. This year, I've been thinking, how about we do things a little bit differently? I'd rather perhaps go out for a nice meal in January than have something wrapped up under the tree. Whatever it is that floats your boat, whatever will make it easier for you. Having those conversations with children, saying, especially younger children, is very difficult to set a budget, but using language like what would be your most exciting present could give you a bit of an idea of what to target in amongst the many requests that I'm sure you're going to get. Okay. Practical elements people talk to me about how to host, scheduling time in for friends and family, work do. Start now. Put a big family calendar up if there's a lot in your household, or just keep a hold of your diary, making sure that you put in things like downtime for yourself. The last thing you want to be is completely frazzled by the time it comes around to Christmas Day. It can be difficult, and you can look at your diary and think, how on earth am I supposed to find half a minute, let alone a couple of hours or even half a day to myself? Well, here's where delegation works really quite well, in my opinion. So nobody has to do any of this stuff all by themselves, not in my family. So whether you're hosting or guesting, think about what you can do to lighten the load. At our family Christmas, nobody's responsible for everything. We have somebody bring the starters, somebody will bring a cheese board. My job this year is to bake a ham. My mum's already good at puddings, so that's naturally her department. Somebody else might bring some cream for puddings or wine for the table, whatever. Nobody's responsible practically or financially for the whole thing. Now, that might be a completely different concept for you, but change can be a good thing. And if you don't like it this year, you can always change it back for next. Nothing's set in stone. Boundary setting, front loading, time management, all really big topics. I'd never heard actually of front loading or the terminology, even though that it's something I've done most of my adult life around Christmas, is getting things in quickly before it gets busy, if your time and resources allow. If not, you might need to think a little bit more creatively about how you're going to do that. But the time management and the scheduling in of people you want to see, places you want to go, taking a stack of Christmas cards around with you. So if you sort of think, oh, I'm going past so-and-so's house, or, they'll be at that meeting, you can quickly do that, save yourself another job down the line. But front loading tasks as much as you can do, things like doing a deep clean somewhere if you're hosting and it's important to you that everything's right, deep cleaning a room, sorting your freezer out, that's something that's always on my agenda. And while your focus is on the Christmas, we sometimes forget that there's normal days before we get there, and there's definitely normal days after the big event. So when it's really busy, a shepherd's pie, a curry, something in the freezer that you can just grab out and know tea's sorted might just give you a bit of breathing space. Okay. So dealing with overwhelm, dealing with chaos, having difficult conversations, boundary setting, that can all be problematic. So my best tip really at this time of year is to keep talking. Don't close up, soldier on, and be completely frazzled by something. Make sure you chat about things. Oh, I've just remembered there's this that still needs doing. There's that needs doing. If you've got teenagers in the house, if you've got retired parents that are able, can they go and do a bit? Help you out a little bit. Could you consider doing shopping online, for instance? So it's all saving time to do those extra things. I love a big visual board. So when there were children at home with us, there'd be all their activities coming up to Christmas, our works things, family and friends dues. So then you could actually see where the quieter times were. And if there weren't enough quiet times, then which one of those things were going to come out of the diary? Again, a conversation to be had. So if all this is making you a little bit like, oh my goodness, I do need to do all these things, but I have no idea where to start, don't panic, don't worry. I have lots of information on my Christmas site, on my Christmas page on my website. And that is at this address that I am putting in the chat now. So susangrangertherapy.co.uk/Christmas-calm. you will find plenty of tips, blogs, ideas for you to do that. Look out on my Facebook page for things happening all the time, Thoughtful Thursdays, Solutions Sundays, all sorts of information to keep your head on straight. And on the 17th of December, which is a Wednesday, 12 until 12:45, I am running a free webinar called From Chaos. Oh, no, spelled chaos wrong. Chaos to Calm. If you're interested in booking in for that, it will be on Zoom. Just drop me an email, inquiries at susangrangertherapy.co.uk. And last but no means least, January. Set your sights now on January. I will have 2 packages of support available. My 8-session emotional wellbeing package will start in January. Whenever you're ready to start, it's a one-on-one thing, not a group thing. That's 8 sessions, includes 8 of those hourly sessions, lots of resources, check-ins in between. And then I've got my mini start, the Fresh Start Mini Booster, which is a 4-session package. And I'll go into a bit more detail then at the end of the webinar on the 17th of December. So that will be recorded, so don't worry if you can't join me. And it will be on that page, and then you can look and decide which one of those packages is going to suit you best come January. So in the immortal words of somebody on Dad's Army, don't panic, Mr. Mannering. Everything will go just as smoothly as it will go. Just you make time for yourself so that you actually enjoy the magic of the festive season yourself. Merry Christmas.